which is a bit creepy, but it kind of works, right? So yeah, also renting, but you get the idea. More business one-on-one, less less tech for tech's sake. These are pretty, and I like it when I sell two like variants of the same thing to the same person. We got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 because this buyer remembers that I had a once upon a time. This is very much a once upon a time thing. I had a sale that was buy 20 or more items, get free shipping. And every time they've come back to the store, they'll buy asking price and say, "Can I get free shipping?" Which I'm more than happy to oblige because I actually make more money that way, anyways. And how nice would it be if all our repeat buyers were of that caliber, where they remember your special offers and they come back and request for it? It's the best feeling. I've actually never understood businesses who, and growing up, I saw a lot of this where you come back to a shop and they go, "Oh no, but the offer is expired. You can't apply anymore." The reason we ask for it is not because we're dodgy. It's because there was a time when that was acceptable. Why today it's not? Just because it's the day after? Like that behavior has never made sense to me. And actually, when I go out with my parents for meals and stuff, I will notice them get like really annoyed when businesses would do that. They'd be like, "Oh no, sorry, that was last week's offer. This week's offer. This week got no offer. You need to wait." If I'm talking in the accent, yeah, usually Asian establishments as well. Take the money. Oh, but what if everyone else comes and wants to also have the same offer? Then we have to honor it for everybody. Yeah. What's the problem? In this day and age where it's not easy acquiring new buyers. If someone remembers an offer and dares to ask, it's rewarded. And really, in reality, we've all had those buyers as well who, when they're given the chance to have more, they'll say, "Nah, it's all good." Like for example, I had a Facebook sale recently where I quoted the medium parcel shipping, and then when I packed it, I went, "Oh, actually fits in a small. Can you send me your details to send you back the $4? The $4 extra on shipping because I charged 14. Really, it would have just been 10." They're like, "Nah, just keep it." And then the other day, like last week, I had one where the blister was cracked, and I said to them, "Look, the blister's been cracked. Let me know if you still want the car with a partial refund. Do you want the car with a partial refund, or would you like me to only send you the 2 other cars you bought and send you a full refund for the one that's broken?" And they go, "It's okay, I'm going to open it anyways." I said, "Would you like me to send it to you with a partial refund?" You had the option to fill in the blank with a number that you deem reasonable. Also something that I do, open-ended. I don't give them the number, I tell them to give me the number because I like to know who I'm working with. And what I've learned from that experience is I've given buyers the chance to show me they're reasonable, and most of them have been reasonable. And so back to this whole offer situation, if someone asks for it, great. Just because the person behind you happens to hear it, they will be like, "Nah, it's good. I don't really need the offer. I'm really looking to buy something else today anyways." Yeah, I remember last week I was here, the offer was for the laksa. Today I don't really feel like having laksa. It's okay, it's fine. You're showing, just by extending that goodwill, if anything, you make the rest of the queue feel like you're a great business more than anything else. Maybe 1 out of 5 behind that person might want the offer. Give it to them as well. Great. There's a reason people like Oprah, right? You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. It's not about the fact that she's throwing away money. It's the fact that she's willing to, and the willing to part is so important in your business. Like the number of times we see reselling people get onto these Facebook pages and they complain. And if you just read between the lines, it's really, "I'm not willing to because it's going to cost me." And they're all Scrooges, really. And people smell Scrooge through words. Don't be a Scrooge. Be willing to spend, be willing to invest, be willing to say yes to your buyers, and then retain them. Retention is so important. The moment you can retain your buyers, you don't need eBay anymore. You don't need eBay to help you anymore. The eBay search promoted listings brings the buyer in. Once they're in, your job to retain them. If you can't retain them and you go back to search to go buy from your competitor, that's your fault. It's not eBay's fault. Don't come to Facebook and complain about, oh, eBay's algorithm changed and my item is no longer listed in the top. It used to be what changed. You didn't do anything to retain them. But John, yeah, contact buyer, ask them why they bought. Contact buyer, thank them. Contact buyer, hey, it's been 6 months. You can do all of that. It's very basic business 101. Following up your buyers when they buy stuff from you is so important, because how else would they know that you remembered them? How else will they know that you thought of them? Here's a simple thing you can do, right? Think about like 10 friends that you haven't spoken to in years and just send a message saying, hey, just thought about you today, so I wanted to send you a message. Just do that. Nothing else. Don't say, well, we're going to have a catch up. They will reply you as if you've given them like a kiss on the cheek in person. Being thoughtful is so valuable. We take that for granted. And I think oftentimes we do it is because as human beings, we don't believe we deserve that kind of thought. And so we don't extend it. It's very much a thing we don't do because we're afraid to receive it, or we believe we never deserved it, or we're not worthy of it. And just simply fixing that mentality and fixing that mindset, that sense of self-worth, when you give that out, you get a lot more back. And you can do that in your businesses as well. And so for me, when I look at the tech situation, which is a lovely segue back in, it's no amount of tech to me brings in sales the way traditional thoughtfulness in business does. If you just do basic retention using the contact buyer button and send coupons out and the handwritten notes that are thoughtful, right? There are the handwritten notes that are not thoughtful, that are just intended to try and get another sale. And then there are the genuine handwritten notes that really speak to the buyer. I'm reminded of a bakery we bought scones from, and there was a note in it that says, I hope this smell makes you happy. It's like, shit, yeah, it does. Thanks for just connecting with me over the scent of your scones. That's a thoughtful note, right? It's not like, here's a coupon to buy another one when you come back next time. How many times have you gotten a coupon in the mail or a coupon with your order that said 50% off the next time you come back? Yeah, I would have really wanted that coupon when I bought the item. That's the first thought that goes through your mind. Nobody ever thinks, oh, they're so generous, I'll come back next time. You know what my head does? My head goes, great, that's 25% off both orders, assuming they're equal value. Or the thought of, I really would have preferred the discount when I bought the item. You're probably hoping that I will never remember to come back. None of that speaks to me as a buyer. It's for the seller. But if they gave me that coupon 6 months later and said, hey, we haven't seen you in 6 months, here's a coupon, would you consider coming back? That's thoughtfulness. Same discount, different timing, because it conveys thoughtfulness, whether intentional or not. You see what I'm saying? That's basic business 101. It's got nothing to do with tech. Tech just makes it easier. Tech just makes it automatic. But if you don't have the presence of mind to actually apply it, the technology never gets used for that purpose. But that's how the best businesses keep getting business. You buy something, they don't send you a coupon just yet because they know you've just bought. Then after that, when later on they go, hey, by the way, this is something that you normally look for during this period. That's why Google ad remarketing works so well, because they remind you as you are looking. There's a sense of like, we see you, which is a bit creepy, but it kind of works, right? So yeah, also ranting, but you get the idea. More business 101, less tech for tech's sake. Where I would love to have tech though is actually just processing the stuff. That's probably the best thing, to actually fulfill the orders and actually get the listings up. That was more of a sales angle rant. But if I could figure out how to do technology and I say do technology because the thought of setting up new tech overwhelms me. I'm an Apple user because it all works together. If I had to figure out how to do PC with Mac, PC with like an iPhone, and then some other thing, and then with an SD card, and stuff like that, it's just too much. My brain doesn't want to do it. I always figure it out at the end, but my brain does not want to do it. So back to that point with Rob, like building a macro, no idea. I've never bothered to learn because whenever I sit down, it's just like, somebody else please do it for me, and then I will do something else for you. That's kind of where my brain goes when it comes to those things. And let me know in the comments if you're like me, where the thought of doing anything new with technology just makes you go night-night and then hope that it works the next day. I can't be the only one. Okay, this is a Zamac 68 Copo Camaro. This one is from 2017, sold for $5. Also, the reason I want to talk about this one is because it's sold to a repeat buyer, and you guys know with my store, I make money from multi-order. So if every sale I sell, how many hundreds of toy cars, if every car I sold was a single car and shipping to a different buyer, it wouldn't be a profitable store. More so from the effort as well, it'd just be really tiring to keep one order pack, right? It's very similar to, I guess, the trading card situation. We need to have multi-orders, otherwise it doesn't work. And a car like this is one of those cars where the model itself is quite popular, which means that once I get to about 6 or 7 listed, I tend to sell 5 because somebody's looking to add all of the same casting. And for those of you who don't know what a casting is, if you look at the bottom of the car, this one doesn't have it. This one does. If you look at the bottom of the car, you'll see like a HCJ number, like here. That's your casting number. So usually if somebody, mirroring, if you look at that number there, that's literally the metal thing of this car, the shape. Which means that if you punch that into Google, you'll be able to get every version of this that was ever made. And so people collect by casting will usually buy the lot. This person has only bought one. They're also a repeat buyer. They bought multiple before. So it's a gamble. I'm going to acknowledge that in the sense that this is the madness of my store, right? For the most part, because I'm listing so much regularly, I do get mostly multi-orders. But every so often, the bait is unluckily eaten only by one fish. So single car going out to a repeat buyer. And no model is perfect. I guess that's probably the next thing I was going to say. I know a lot of sellers like to fixate about their models being perfect. Otherwise, they wonder if it's going to work or not. Reps always help because until you sell, several hundred of an item, you don't really know if something's going to work or not. I like the 100 number because the 100 number gives me a pretty straightforward percentage. If I do something 100 times and 10 times it doesn't work, I don't see it as a 10% fail rate. I see it as a 90% success rate. And I like that because nobody would ever say no to 90% on the test. But sometimes you see resellers complaining, or any sort of business person complaining, 10 failures. Oh no, we failed 10 times. And it feels like a lot. Yeah, but have you done it 100 times? No. Okay, do it 100 times. Did you fail any more? Yes, 5 more times. Great. You succeeded 85% of the time. That's good. And then you have to program your brain to look at it that way so that you keep going and not complain about how your business is doing. Because no one's got time for complaining if we're making money. I packed another order. I was going to tell you something about that. So I just packed 3 cars. I have this buyer who buys repeatedly, and then they will, they know that I combine shipping, so they check out immediately, right? 2-3 cars. Then they'll add one random car like a day later and go, oh, instead of refunding me the shipping, can you just throw in this car? They'll send me the link to that car. Great. So it requires me to delete that car, and then after that, add a note to the one that was sold that this is going to go to them. I've always remembered to do it. One day I was sleep deprived and I didn't do it. And I get this message and it's essentially read, effing annoying, didn't get the car, we are done. And I go, I'm so sorry, I didn't send it to you. I always do. I'll send it to you in the next order because he had another order that was going to go out that same day. Anyways, he buys 3 more cars, which goes to show if you build something, they will come. If you build something for a repeat buyer experience, there's a very good chance very few people are going to do that for that same experience, because a lot of resellers focus on product first. They don't focus on buyers first. And buyers first is what every business does, right? Usually, if a business fails, it's because they believe in the product more than the buyer that they're serving. So if you always start with buyer first, you're never going to go wrong. And you also have these safety net for people going, crap, I said we're done, but I kind of like this store, and this store kind of has everything that I need, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to shut up now. And that's kind of what's happened. So build for the buyer that you have in mind. For those of you guys who don't know, we have a Discord community. It's called The Meaningful Hustle. It's on Discord. It's free. We look at it more as a place for us to help each other out, support each other. It's focused on well-being more than on knowledge. We do share knowledge. We do have all these conversations around, you know, how to sell better on eBay, different categories, different marketplaces. We do all of that stuff. The focus, though, well-being, supporting each other, being a wholesome, positive community. A lot of the people you see in the chat are in that community, and the whole purpose of it is to uplift each other. So what you'll find is that we're not hiding secrets. We're not trying to keep things to ourselves. We're not trying to put others down. We're just trying to get better and do it together with each other. And we oftentimes end up just doing life with each other as well. So, and really, bit of a testimonial time. When I made the Discord community with the team, we made it with that purpose in mind for the community. It ended up being a thing that I needed now that I've got my ADHD diagnosis. Just coming into the space, I've had challenges with my kids, with my marriage over the last few months. Nothing major. More like just, John, you're stretching yourself too thin. Give us back some of that time. And to watch the community go, yeah, John, we got this. You know what? We'll look after the space. We'll support each other. We don't really need you here to kind of lead it. And really, it's become a place that it's no longer my space. It's really our space, which is super cool to see. And that's really what it is. If you have a community that's wholesome, it doesn't need one person to hold the fort. Everybody does it. And it's that's it really. It's and I like that, love it. Went to see my doctor actually 2 days ago to talk through the medication. He was like he was trying to make sure that I was okay, that I knew what I was getting into. And I was like, no, I've spoken to a few people already, and most of us in the reselling community are neurodiverse. Surprise, surprise. Lots and lots of little bits of dopamine because there's so much novelty in what we sell. Flexibility, lack of structure, no one telling us what to do. And if we manage that well in community and keep each other accountable, we can perform and we don't end up spiraling downwards. So yeah, I said to him, look, I've got this community that we started and I've talked through most of the stuff already. So yeah, I'm good. I feel supported, people that I can talk to, and I feel cared for. And he's like, great. So to be able to say that, a week after diagnosis with a doctor just kind of shows you that depth. And that's what we got and that's what we love. So yeah, if you'd like to join, the links will be in the description and also all over the socials, really. You guys know there's a Discord community called Meaningful Hustle. Follow us on Instagram as well. Yeah, thanks for showing up. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday or in the Discord in the next hour if you guys are going to pop back there, because I'm going to pop back there. Bye.